Whoa, what the fuck are you doing over there, dude? Come on, bro. By God, even my character is looking over, like, so disturbed by that man just fucking threw the goddamn, what was that, a plate or a mug? Just across the entire fucking room. Come on, bro. What the hell's the problem with you? Alright. Today, we're going to enjoy some a bread of loaf of bread, a bread of loaf, yes, indeed. As we read yet another book. And what book do we have on for today? Let's see. Last Scabbard of Akrash. 22 pages. Yeah, damn. I think we'll leave that. We can read, what was that, 22? Yeah, I think we'll just read 2 books today. Yeah, I think we'll read 2 books. 22 pages and 30 pages, because 30 pages is a long fucking book. Goddamn. Last Scabbard of Akrash. By Tabar Vanquidch. For several warm summer days in the year 3rd era 407. What? Oh, we're in like 433, I think. Yeah, something like that. A young, pretty Dunmer woman in a veil regularly visited one of the master armorers in the city of Tyr. The locals decided that she was young and pretty, but her figure and her poise, though no one ever saw her face. She and the armorer would retire to the back of his shop, and he would close down his business and dismiss his apprentices for a few hours. A few hours, goddamn, my dude. Then, at mid-afternoon, she would leave, only to return at precisely the same time the next day. As gossip goes, it was fairly meager stuff, though what the old man was doing with such a well-dressed and attractively proportioned woman, what a weird fucking adjective, bruh, was the source of several crude jokes. After several weeks, the visits stopped, and life returned to normal in the slums of Tyr. It was not until a month or 2 after the visits had stopped that in one of the many taverns in the neighborhood, a young local tailor, having imbibed too much sauce, asked the armorer, "So whatever happened to your lady friend? You break her heart?" The armorer, well aware of the rumors, simply replied, "She is a proper young lady of quality. There was nothing between her and the likes of me." "What was she doing at your shop every day for?" asked the tavern wench, who had been dying to get the subject open. "If you must know," said the armorer, "I was teaching her the craft." You're putting us on," laughed the tailor. "No, the young lady had a particular fascination with my particular kind of artistry," the armorer said, with a hint of pride before getting lost in the reverie. "I taught her how to mend swords specifically. From all kinds of nicks and breaks, hairline fissures, cracked pommels, quillins, and grips. When she first started, she had no idea how to secure the grips to the tang of the blade. Well, of course she was green to start off with. Why wouldn't she be? But she weren't afraid to get her hands dirty. I taught her how to patch the little inlaid silver and gold filigree you find on really fine blades, and how to polish it all to a mirror sheen to the sword, so the sword looks like the gods just pulled it from their celestial anvil." Yeah. The tavern wench and the tailor laughed out loud. No matter what he alleged, the armorer was speaking of the young lady's training, as another man speaks of a long-lost love. Yeah, I was gonna say, this sounds, yeah. I don't know what kind of swords we're working with here. More of the locals in the tavern would have listened to the armorer's pathetic tale, but more important gossip had taken precedence. There was another murdered slave trader found in the center of town, gutted from fore to aft. That made 6 of them total in barely a fortnight. Some called the killer the Liberator, but that sort of anti-slavery zeal was rare among the common folk. They preferred calling him the Loper, as several of the earlier victims had been completely beheaded. Others had been simply perforated, sliced, or gutted, but the Loper still kept his original sobriquet. While the enthusiastic hooligans made bets about the condition of the next slave trader's corpse, several dozen of the surviving members of that trade were meeting at the manor house of Sergio Dres Minguar. Mainguar was a minor house man of house dress, but a major member of the slave trading fraternity. Perhaps his best years were behind him, but his associates still counted on him for wisdom. We need to take what we know of this Loper and search accordingly. Loper, I think it's Loper, yeah, said Maingar, seated in front of his opulent hearth. We know he has an unreasonable hatred of slavery and slave traders. We know he is skilled with the blade. We know he has the stealth and finesse to execute our most well-secured brethren in their most secure abodes. It sounds to me to be an adventurer, an outlander. Surely no citizen of Morrowind would strike at us like this. I don't know about that one, Chief. The slave traders nodded in agreement. An outlander seemed most likely for the troubles. It was always true. Were I 50 years younger, I would take down my blade Akrash from the hearth. Mainguar made an expansive gesture to the shimmering weapon, and join you in seeking out this terror. Search him out where adventurers meet, taverns and guild halls, then show him a little lopping of my own. The slave traders laughed politely. You wouldn't let us borrow your blade for the execution, I suppose, would you, Sergio? Asked Soren Jealous, a young toadying slaver enthusiastically. It would be an excellent use for Akrash, sighed Maingar. Butchering all the names I know. But I vowed to retire her when I retired. Maingar called for his daughter, Pelaya, to bring the slavers more Flynn, but they waved the girl away. It was to be a night for hunting the Loper, not drinking away their troubles. Maingar heartily approved of their devotion, particularly as expensive as the liquor was getting to be. When the last of the slavers had left, the old man kissed his daughter on the head, took one last admiring look at Akrash, and toddled off to his bed. No sooner had he done so than Pelaya had the blade off the mantle and was flying with it across the fields behind the manor house. She knew Kazag had been waiting for her for hours in the stables. He sprung out at her from the shadows and, wrapping his strong, furry arms around her, kissed her long and sweet. Holding him as long as she dared to, she finally broke away and handed him the blade. He tested its edge. The finest Khajiit swordsmith couldn't hone an edge this keen, he said, looking at his beloved with pride, and I know I nicked it up good last night. That you did, said Pelaya. You must have cut through an iron cuirass. The slavers are taking precautions now, he replied. What did they say during their meeting? They think it's an outlander adventurer, she laughed. It didn't occur to any of them that a Khajiit slave would possess the skill to commit all these loppings. And your father doesn't suspect that it's his dear Akrash that is striking into the heart of oppression? Why would he, when every day he finds it fresh as the day before? Now I must go before anyone notices I'm gone. My nurse sometimes comes in to ask me some detail about the wedding, as if I had any choice in the matter at all. I promise you, said Kazag very seriously, you will not be forced into any marriage to cement our family's slave-dealing dynasty. The last scabbard Akrash will be sheathed into will be your father's heart. And when you are an orphan, you can free the slaves, move to a more enlightened province, and marry who you like. I wonder who that will be, Pelaya teased, and raced out to the stables. Just before dawn, Pelaya awoke and crept out to the garden, where she found Akrash hidden in the bitter green vines. The edge was still relatively keen, but there were scratches vertically across the blade's surface. Another beheading, she thought, as she took pumice stone and patiently rubbed out the marks, finally polishing it with a solution of salt and vinegar. It was up on the mantel in pristine condition when her father came into the sitting room for his breakfast. When the news came that Camillith Torum, Pelaya's husband-to-be, had been found outside of a canton, his head on a spike, some feet away, she did not have to pretend to grieve. Her father knew she did not want to marry him. It is a shame, he said. The lad was a good slaver. Wow, what a great guy, huh? But there are plenty of other young men who would appreciate an alliance with our family. What about young Soren Jealous? 2 days and nights later, Soren Jealous was visited by the Lopper. The struggle did not take long, but Soren had not... Wow, 2 days later? Like, that's pretty suspicious. The struggle did not take long, but Soren had armed himself with one small defense. A needle dipped in the ichor of poison plant, hidden up his sleeve. After the mortal blow, he collapsed forward and stuck Kazag in the calf with the pin. By the time he made it back to the Meingar Manor house, he was dying. Vision blurring, he climbed up to the eaves of the house to Pelaya's window and rapped. Pelaya did not answer immediately, as she was in a deep, wonderful sleep, dreaming about her future with her Khajiit lover. He rapped louder, which woke up... Yo, yo, yo! He rapped louder, which woke up not only Pelaya, but also her father in the next room. Kazak, she cried, opening up the window. The next person in the bedroom was Meingar himself. As he saw it, this slave, his property, was about to lop off the head of his daughter. His property, with his sword, his property. Suddenly, with the energy of a young man, Meingar rushed at the dying Khajiit, knocking the sword out of his hand. Before Pelaya could stop him, her father had thrust the blade into her lover's heart. The excitement over, the old man dropped the sword and turned to the door to call the guard. As an afterthought, it occurred to him to make certain that his daughter hadn't been injured and might require a healer. Meingar turned to her. For a moment, he felt simply disoriented, feeling the force of the blow, but not the blade itself. Then he saw the blood, and then felt the pain. Before he fully realized that his daughter had stabbed him with a Akrash, he was dead. The blade, at last, found its scabbard. A week later, after the official investigations, the slave was buried in an unmarked grave in the manor field, and Sergio Dress Meingar found his resting place in a modest corner of the family's opulent mausoleum. A larger crowd of curious onlookers came to view the funeral of the noble slaver whose secret life was as the savage lopper of his competitors. The audience was respectfully quiet, though there was not a person there not imagining the final moments of the man's life, attacking his own daughter in his madness, luckily defended by the loyal, hapless slave before turning the blade on himself. Among the viewers was an old armorer who saw for one last time the veiled young lady before she disappeared forever from Tyr. Alright, and on to the legend of Krately House. Full fucking 30 pages. Goddamn. The Legend of Krately House by Baileth Kull. Dramatis Personae. Theophan, Imperial Man, 24, Thief. Nirim, Bosmer Man, 20, Thief. Silenus Krately, Imperial Man, 51, Merchant. Diminitia Krately, his wife, 40. No fucking job for that person, huh? Pretty fucked up. Elva Krately, their daughter, 16. Ministus Krately, their son, 11. Setting: the famous haunted Krately House in Shadenhall. Wait, Krately House in Shadenhall? I don't know where the fuck this would be. Maybe this is like the abandoned house or something? I don't know. First and second floors, requiring a stage with the second story where most of the action takes place. The stage is dark. There is a creaking noise, footsteps on the stairs, the sound of a man breathing, but still we see nothing. Then a voice calls from above. Aelva, offstage. Hello? Is someone down there? Ministus, offstage. Should I wake up Papa? Elva, offstage. No, maybe I was imagining it. A light from a lantern can be seen coming from the upstairs in the slim form of a beautiful young girl. Aelva, how old? Wasn't this the 11-year-old? 16. Still a little sus. Still pretty fucking sus. Where the fuck was I? Upstairs and unlit. Oh, a light from a lantern can be seen coming out. Beautiful young girl descends the staircase at stage right, nervously. From the light of the lantern, we can see that we are looking at the second floor of a dusty old house, with a set of stairs going up and another one going down on stage right. An unlit stone fireplace sits at stage left. A table, a locked chest, and a wardrobe completes the furnishings. Ministus, offstage. Aelva, what are you doing? Aelva, I'm just making certain. Go back to bed, Ministus. As the girl passes the table, we see a Bosmer Nirim slide gracefully up from behind and around her field of sight, carefully avoiding the pool of light. She doesn't appear to see him as he creeps closer to her, his footsteps silent on the hard wooden floor. When he is almost on her, there's a sudden crash from down below. This causes the Bosmer to leap away, hiding again behind the table. The girl does not seem to notice the sound, and Nirim, peeking out from behind the table, watches her. Ministus offstage. Found anything? Aelva. No. Probably just my imagination, but I'm just going to check downstairs. Ministus offstage. Is there a fire? I'm cold. Aelva looks towards the long dead fireplace, and so does Nirim. Aelva. Of course there is. Can't you hear it crackling? Ministus offstage. I guess so. Aelva suddenly jumps as if she heard something, which we do not. She turns her attention down the stairs to the first floor. Aelva. Alva. Hello? Aelva, lantern ahead of her, begins the descent. She does not seem to notice as an Imperial, Theophan, carrying a big bag of loot and a lantern of his own, calmly walks up right past her. Theophan. Excuse me, young lady, just robbing you. What the fuck? Okay. Aelva continues her slow, nervous walk downstairs, which we can now see thanks to her light. She looks around the low-ceilinged, thoroughly looted room as the action continues upstairs. Theophan's lantern provides the dim lit light for the second floor. Theophan. Why are you hiding, Nirim? I told you, they can't see you, and they can't hear you. Nirim sheepishly steps out from behind the table. Nirim. I can't believe they're all ghosts. They seem so alive. Theophan. That's what spooks them superstitions. But they ain't going to hurt us. Just reliving the past, the way ghosts do. Okay, interesting. Nirim. The nights they were murdered. Theophan. Stop thinking about that or you'll get yourself all willy spooked. I got all kinds of stuff on the first floor. Silver candlesticks, silk, even some gold. What'd you get? Nirim holds up his empty bag. Sorry, Theophan. I was just about to start. Theophan. Get to work on that chest then. That's what you're here for. Nirim. Oh yeah. I got the talents. You got the ideas. And the equipment. You refilled that lantern before we came here, right? I can't work in the dark. Theophan. Don't worry, Nirim. I promise. No surprises. Nirim jumps when a young boy, Ministus, appears on the stairs. The lad creeps down quietly and goes to the fire. He acts as if he's stoking a fire, feeding it wood, poking at the embers, though there is no wood, no poker, no fire. Theophan. We got all the time in the world, friend. No one comes near this house. If they seize our lantern light, they'll just assume it's the ghosts. Nirim begins picking the lock on a chest of drawers, while Theophan opens a wardrobe and begins going through the contents, which are mostly rotten cloth. Nirim is distracted, looking at the young boy. Nirim. Hey, Theophan, how long ago did they die? Theophan. About 5 years ago. Why you asking? Nirim. Just making conversation. As they talk, Aelva downstairs, finally heaving, searched the small room, acts as if she's locking the front door. Theophan. Didn't I already tell you the story? Nirim. No, you just said, hey, I know a place we can burgle, where no one's at home, except for the ghosts. I thought you was joking. Theophan. No joking, partner. 5 years ago, the Kratleys lived here. Nice people. You've seen the daughter Aelva and the boy Ministus. The parents were Silenus and Dementia. If I remembers rightly. Nirim successfully unlocks the chest and begins rummaging through it. While he does so, Ministus gets up from the fire, apparently warming up, and stands at the top of the stairs down. Ministus. Hey! The boy's voice calls Nirim, Theophan, and Aelva to all jump. Aelva. Why aren't you in bed? I'm just going to check the cellar. Ministus. I'll wait for you. Nirim. So what happened? Theophan. Oh, they was ripped to pieces. Halfway eaten. No one even knows who or what did it, neither. Though there was rumors, Elva opens the door to the cellar and goes in. The light disappears from the first floor. Ministus patiently waits at the top of the stairs, humming a little song to himself. Niram, what kind of rumors? Theophan, having exhausted the possibilities in the wardrobe, helps Niram sort through the golds in the chest. Theophan, pretty good haul, eh? Oh, the rumors. Well, they say old lady Dominia? I'm just gonna call her fucking Dom. Fuck it, she's Dom. Well, they say old lady Dom was a witch before she married Silenus. Gave it all up for him, to be a good wife and mother. But the witches didn't take too kindly to it. They found her and sent some kind of creature here, late at night. Something horrible, right out of a nightmare. Ministus, Alva, what's taking you so long? Niram, ye gods, are we going to watch them get killed right in front of us? Ministus, Alva! Silenus, offstage, what's happening down there? Stop playing around, boy, and go to sleep. Ministus, Papa! Ministus, frightened, runs to the stairs up. Along the way, he bumps into Niram, who falls down. The boy does not seem to notice, but continues on up to the dark third floor sleeping porch, off stage. Theophan, are you all right? Niram jumps to his feet, white-faced. Niram, never mind that. He touched me. How can a ghost touch me? Theophan, well, of course they can. Some, anyhow. You heard of ancestor spirits guarding tombs, and that ghost of the king they had in Daggerfall. If they don't touch you, what good are they? Why are you so surprised? You thought he'd move right through you, I figure. Niram, yes. Silenus, the man of the house, comes down the stairs cautiously. Dominitia. Dom, off stage. Don't leave us alone, Silenus. We're coming with you. Silenus, wait, it's dark. Let me get some light. Silenus goes to the cold fireplace, sticks his hand forward, and suddenly in his arm there's a lit, burning torch. Niram scrambles back, horrified. Niram, I felt that. I felt the heat of the fire. Silenus, come on down. It's all right. Ministus leads his mother, Dom, down the stairs where they join Silenus. Theophan, I don't know why you're so scared, Niram. I must say I'm disappointed. I didn't figure you'd be a superstitionalist. Wow, what a big word for this fucking guy, huh? They make him sound like he's fucking stupid. I didn't figure, he's got figure used as figure. You for a superstitionalist, like that's a pretty goddamn big word for trying to have a pseudo dumb character here. Theophan goes for the stairs up. Niram, where are you going? Theophan, one more floor to search. Niram, can't we just go? Niram watches as the family of three, following Silenus and his torch, walk down towards the first floor. Silenus, Alva, say something, Alva. Theophan, there, you see? If you don't like ghosts, third floor is the place to be. All four of them are downstairs now. Theophan goes upstairs, off stage, but Niram stands at the top of the stairs, looking down at the family. The three look around on the first floor as Alva did, finally turning toward the cellar door. Niram, all four. Silenus opens the cellar door. Silenus, Alva, what are you doing down in the cellar, girl? Dom, you see her? Niram, all four, Theophan. Silenus, I think so. I see someone. Hello? Niram, what if there's 5 ghosts, Theophan? Silenus thrusts his torch in through the cellar door, and it is suddenly extinguished. The first floor falls into darkness. Ministus, Dom, and Silenus scream, but we cannot see what is happening to them. Niram is nearly hysterical, screaming along with them. Theophan runs downstairs from the 3rd floor. Theophan, what is it? Niram, what if there is 5 ghosts? The man, the wife, the girl, the boy, and what killed them? Theophan, and what killed them? Niram, and what if it's a ghost that can touch us too, just like the others? From the darkened 1st floor, there is a creak of a door opening, though we cannot see it, and then there is a heavy, clawed footfall. 1 step at a time, coming toward the stairs. Theophan, don't get so upset. If it can touch us, what would make you think it'd want to? All the others didn't even notice we was here. Theophan's lantern dims slightly. He adjusts it carefully. Niram, only Only what if it ain't a ghost, Theophan? What if it's the same creature, and it's still alive, and it ain't ate nothing since 5 years ago? The footsteps begin the slow, heavy stomp up the stairs. Though whatever it is, we cannot see it. Niram notices the light beginning to dim from the lantern, despite Theophan frantically trying to fix it. Niram, you said you refilled the lamp. The light goes out entirely, and the stage is filled with darkness. Niram, you promised me you refilled the lamp. More footsteps and a horrible, horrible howl. The men scream. The curtain falls. Huh. What a fucking odd book, huh? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting story right there. I like it, but I also kind of wish I knew what the monster was. But I feel like the mystery of it is probably actually better, to be honest. I feel like a lot of times, like, yes, you want to see what the final unknown monster is, but then, like, a lot of times, like, even when you do find out what the fuck it is, it's, like, very, very disappointing, you know? Sometimes it's better to just leave it unknown. Alright, I kind of want to see if we have just, like, one more really short book that we could read right now. More Than Mortal? Nope, not really. There we go. Reality and Falsehoods. Reality and Other Falsehoods. Was that the name of the book? Oh, yeah, Reality and Other Falsehoods. My bad. It is easy to confuse illusion and alteration. Both schools of magic attempt to create what is not there. The difference is in the rules of nature. Illusion is not bound by them, while alteration is. This may seem to indicate that alteration is the weaker of the two, but this is not true. Alteration creates a reality that is recognized by everyone. Illusion's reality is only in the mind of the caster and the target. To master alteration, first accept that reality is a falsehood. There is no such thing. Our reality is a perception of greater forces impressed upon us for their amusement. Some say that these forces are the gods, other that they are something beyond the gods. Okay, what? For the wizard, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the appeal couched in a manner that cannot be denied. It must be insistent without being insulting. To cast alteration spells is to convince a greater power that it will be easier to change reality as requested than to leave it alone. Do not assume that these forces are sentient. Our best guess is that they are like wind and water. Persistent but thoughtful. Just like directing the wind of water, diversions are easier than outright resistance. Express the spell as a subtle change, and it is more likely to be successful. I struggled reading that very simple book. Wow. Well, now, that is another book in the bag. And where are we gonna sit next? I think we're gonna sit over here next. Yeah, why not? We'll end things off on maybe the best view in the house. I don't know. But, yeah, that's fucking creepy. He even looks like he's staring at me. Oof. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. So thank you for watching. When next we return, and for, just the next 3 videos in general, we shall continue reading more books. Because, goddamn, we still have so many fucking books. It is absolutely wild. But that's gonna do it for today. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And goodbye. Where you going, bro? Where the fuck are you going? Whatever. Where are you going? Hey, you got me curious. You going to the snuggle bench? Does he want to snuggle? No, he's just leaving. Oh, jeez. I wonder if he says that to Khajiit as well. Alright, goodbye. I don't want to see the glow without you. Refuse to even leave my home without you. Or my brain's gonna explode without you. I don't even know how to cope without you. Cause I don't want to see the glow without you. Refuse to even leave my home without you. Or my brain's gonna explode without you. I don't even know how to cope without you.